welcome back to our podcast. Today we have a very special guest and we are super excited to have him here. His name is Dawson Baker. He's been in the business for a little over 1 year. And
Newbie.
yes, newbie. So he was working at a factory before this and he came into my office and said, "Hey, I hate my life. I do not want to keep doing this." And we tried to figure out a way. We're like, well, how can you quit your job? You have a baby, you have a wife. Like, how are we going to do it? So we figured it out. And this year he closed 41 deals in his first year of real estate.
That's incredible. That is like, and we're gonna find out how you did that.
Yeah, it doesn't feel real still.
It's amazing. So when's your full year? When does that?
So it was November 1st was like when I first started, and that's like the year that it keeps going. But yeah, Desi, she's like, we're just gonna start. I don't know how she talked me into it. But like I said before, she just was right there, helped every which way she could.
Well, and I think that what's really interesting and what's going to be really interesting to people watching or listening is, that's a huge number. Like there's real estate agents that have been in business for decades that aren't closing that many deals in a year,
Yeah.
right? So I
Those
guess,
numbers
yeah,
moved him up. So he's number two in our market in his
just
first.
under Desi, right?
Yeah. And there's agents in our market who have been doing this for 20 years. And Dawson
Mm,
just comes in and just knocks him out of the water. But I think one of Dawson's superpowers is his ability to commit because I was like, I need you to quit your job. Like you either go all
yeah,
in or you don't. You're either in it
right.
or you're not. How you do anything is how you do everything. And he's like, okay, I'll quit my job. And he went in and quit his job.
Yeah,
That's awesome. So much
yeah.
trust, right? That you had a good like mentor and leader, right?
Oh yeah, and I like literally thank Desi and Tyson so much because I remember that day, license gets activated, November 1st. I get my first deal under contract, and all of a sudden we're just sitting, and she's like, "Are you working this weekend, like at your old job?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I'm scheduled. Should go quit." And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Go quit." And I'm like, "I'm committed at this point." But she's like, "Just go quit." I'm like, actually, yeah, I'm just gonna go quit. I walked, grabbed my toolbox, and I was like, "We'll see ya. I'm out. I'm like, let's go." And everyone's like, I just
This is your
remember
new life.
that's my new life. And I was telling people for when I was getting my license and stuff, because I was like doing my classes in my truck, like so I
Mhm.
could finish school. Because like I was committed, like I was so committed. Every day off, I was in the office just trying to just study people, like watch Desi how she like works on her craft and stuff. And I was like,
Mm.
I'm like so committed. But I remember I was like, this is like I had people all the one always they were telling me they're like, you don't realize what you're getting into. I'm like, but you don't realize who I am. You don't realize this. Like this is not my life. And I remember my
Mhm.
wife when I first did this, before I even thought of this, she's like, "You're not meant to be in a factory the rest of your life." She's like, "I don't know what's gonna happen, but something's gonna happen." And it was like just weeks later,
I love
opportunity.
that. So what made you go into Desi's office? Like what was that moment?
So the moment was like a well packed story, Um, my brother passed away like 2 years ago, and
Okay.
my only brother. And I was like for a whole year super depressed, but just maintaining my
I'm
job.
sorry. Yeah.
And it was like it sucked. It sucked really bad. And then my daughter was born. I found out I was having a daughter about a week after my brother passed. And right after it's been about a year, my daughter's born. I'm in the truck where you just went camping, and I have to go back to work, my old job. And my wife and I have a mental breakdown in the truck. Like, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing in life. Like, I hate it. And I was
Hmm.
like, I just hate everything. And she's like, well, what would you do? And I'm like, I don't know. Someone called my phone and was like, hey, like, I got to bring you golfing. And this specific person I met, went golfing with him. And he's like, you need to meet this person. And I was like, I actually know this person because she's actually my real estate agent. And I was like, all I see is Revista everywhere and Desi everywhere.
Yeah.
But like I had such a good experience buying my house from her that I was
Hmm.
like, it was like pretty like, okay, this will be easy. But like he told me like as soon as we got done golfing, he's like, you set up an appointment immediately, like immediately, and you get in there as fast as you can. And that's just what happened.
I
And before
love that.
that, you read a book. What was the book that you read, Dawson? Because I
Oh
think
yeah,
listeners would
yeah.
love
The
this book. It's a great
yeah,
book
the
recommendation.
secret. Like
The
he's like the
Secret.
yeah, the secret. I'm
I'm
trying to
writing
remember
that
who it's by.
down.
I'm trying to remember who it's by, but it's a secret. But I remember before the interview
Yeah.
with Desi, I no joke. He's like, you have to read this at least once, like one time. He's like, kind of treat it like the Bible. And I remember I was like, how do I have time to read a book with 12-hour shifts? You know? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And all of a sudden, like my mind, like I just changed. Like I started manifesting all of this stuff. And I remember like first, like with this meeting going into Desi's office, I said, this is could be either she's gonna be like, no way, or like this is gonna go great. And I just remember like an hour and a half meeting with Desi, and I was like, I never felt like there was someone there that actually was like, no, like I believe in you. She's like, I've no joke, like this is what she told me. She's like, I have been praying and manifesting for someone to come through this door and tell me what they're wanting and what they're going to do. And she's like, you're the person. And she's like, you have no idea.
Love that.
I was like,
I
holy,
love that. So you closed your first deal right away. Like,
yeah,
So he literally had me sign a buyer's rep under my name because we
yeah,
had a client coming in, but he wasn't quite licensed yet. So he's like, can you sign him? So we
yeah.
signed him, and then they went under contract like the day he got his license. And
Hmm.
so it was so great.
Oh my
But
gosh. I love that.
I'm curious, so what do you think was the key to your success? Like if you had to choose one thing that made this year possible, like what do you think helped you achieve these kind of results?
um, basically all the systems you guys have helped me with and like following up with. Like I wouldn't know anything without your guys' training. Like I just basically was like, no, I need to trust what these people are saying because like I've never been in any job like this before.
So you were
Just a
never in
system.
sales.
No,
Sorry to interrupt you. You'd never been in sales. Because when
no.
I met you down at the conference, like you just exude that sort of energy of a really good salesperson, like somebody that's super likable and approachable. I just love that about you. And so I had assumed you had been
Yeah,
in sales before.
yeah. I've never
Hmm.
been in sales. Like right out of high school, I went right into the factory and became a tooling technician. I never
Yeah.
sold anything.
Yeah. Wow. So
And with
systems, you're saying
yeah,
systems,
Yeah.
like being able to keep up with your systems. So like what is, so you all reaching out, touching, nurturing
hmm
clients, and then
So
do you open house?
So I do, like I did at the beginning a lot, and then
Hmm.
so my favorite thing was what Desi gave me was a schedule, and like she
Hmm.
says, we've never done this with anyone before, and she's like, let's just see how this goes and like how this feels, and she gave me this schedule, and we were like, let's follow this schedule to a T, because like, and I knew like I need to treat this as a full time job because like I've heard like oh like agents are part time, you know, and I'm like,
Hmm.
I want this to be full time. So I treat this like I'm in early and I'm leaving late every day. And
Yeah.
like when she's like, are you like you like would you be okay coming at like 8:30 till 4 every day? I'm like, of course. I'm like, I was working like 6 to 7 at night. Like, yeah, of course. Like, let's
This is
do
easy.
this. Yeah, this is easy. You're telling me I just gotta do this, you know? And
And then the
but yeah,
benefit is you get to see your daughter
oh yeah,
more,
all the
your
time.
wife. Like,
It it's been a huge benefit. Like my wife, like she always tells me, she's like, I can tell you're actually happy. Like I can actually tell you're happy because at the beginning, like I'm telling you, for that full year, like it sucked. And when I got that opportunity, I remember everyone like at my old job, they're like, you have no idea what you're doing, you know? And I was just like, you know what? Like I don't need to prove you wrong, but I need to prove myself wrong. Like I
all
need to prove
right.
to myself that I can do this because I have people like my wife was like my number one supporter, and then like my parents, no, no, they're like you're crazy, dude, you're nuts.
Yeah.
And then I have Desi and Tyson. and they're believing me every step of the way. And I'm like, I can't let down the people like at all. I can't, but I can't let myself down. That was the main thing.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Oh, I love
And
that. So like,
Dawson,
sorry?
so let's get a little bit tactical, Dawson. So
Hmm.
with these people that you've helped this year, how did you find them? Like what are your main sources that you got these clientele from?
Okay, so some of them are Spear, not a lot, but some are Spear because I grew up in this community. I know quite a bit of people. Some were Spear. A lot of them was like lead generation. Like I remember some of my first clients was from an open house. I actually knew them, so they weren't Spear, but they came to my open house, and a lot of it was just like leads, but just calling people. Like Desi's like, hey, like we have this thing that you call, like our Google PPCs, and she's like, you got to make calls. And I was in here like when I first started, and I would just call,
Just
and I would
making
not put the
calls.
phone down. I wouldn't put the phone down, and I just call people.
Well, even yesterday, Dawson, how many appointments did you get from old people in our database from like their like years? And he got like how many listing
Yeah,
appointments did you get
it
yesterday?
was it was like two right off the bat, like right off the bat,
Love
and
that. So
it's.
basically that follow-up and
Mm-hmm,
like reaching out and not being afraid to touch people, like reach
mm-hmm,
out to people.
yeah,
I always
and
think
that
about it
was.
as like treating your phone like a cobra. Like people who treat their phone like a cobra, like are not going to make it in this business. You have to pick up the phone,
Oh,
Yeah.
right?
And I think another thing like that's powerful is a lot of people are like, oh, like those people didn't transact, like they're no good.
Hmm.
But like
Hmm.
when you're calling people that have been in the database for like 8 years, 7 years,
Yeah.
6 years,
Wow.
like
Yeah.
you've had great success with that. I think probably, I'd say at least 10 of your transactions in the last 12 months were from calling old people from our database.
yeah. Well, yeah, and
Previous
then
leads.
some of my first people when I first got in, I know at least four of my transactions were people that I first called and they're like, oh, I'm not ready. But like I become like with my client, I become their friend. But at the same time, I'm like, this is like business. But like I'm gonna tell you like what I think is best and like you can take what you want with it. And I remember this client and I said I would just follow up with him and like I'd follow the systems that we have. Like, hey, it's
Hmm.
time to follow up, and like everyone does not sometimes want to call that person back. They just don't. I was like, I better call him back, and I called him,
Hmm.
and next thing you know, he's like, I'm ready to buy a house. He's like, I have to buy a house. I'm like, okay, like it's just that
So that guy
calling.
could go have gone out to an open house that
And
weekend and bought a
yeah,
house from that
he could
person,
have
right?
called Zillow. He could have called
Hmm.
Zillow, clicked it, like I
Hmm.
want to see it. And
Yeah.
if I wouldn't have called or went in my database, he would have known because they really don't understand how real estate agents work. They don't,
Yeah,
you know.
that's true. Yeah. So like with the systems and everything like that that Desi and Tyson had created, that's great, but you must do something different. Like what do you think like of your that you do personally that's a little disruptive to like get get clients and attract buyers and sellers?
I'm like actually like with all my clients, I create a relationship. Like like we could have one of the hardest transactions ever, like a
Hmm.
total just things going down, bad inspection. And at the end of the day, they can still call me, and they're like know that I'm there for them because I actually care for them. Like I care. And like it could
Hmm.
be like the worst thing ever. Like Desi's seen it before. Like worst transaction ever, and they just
Like other
call me for
agents
just
would have
support.
gotten sued because they would have been so mad at their agent,
Yeah.
even though it wasn't even his fault. And they brought him a
Yeah.
freaking gift card. They brought him like flowers and like a $50 gift card and was like, "You're so great." And I'm
Love
like,
it.
they would have like cut my throat if it was me.
Yeah,
Like, this would
Well, it's
not have
because
been
you've got new agent energy. Like
good.
I 100% believe in new agent energy. That's like something that I think people that are new in the industry really bring to the table. And I personally feel like that attracts if you
well,
can tap into that, right?
yeah, and it's like I just want to be authentic with people. Like
Hmm.
I want to tell them like I'm there for you. Like at the end of the
Hmm.
day, it's their biggest life asset. Like most of them, like it is, and I just want them to know that I'm there for them every step of the way, and like I'm here
Uh-huh.
to help them through the whole process. Like I tell everyone, like Desi sees me when I go over like a buyer's packet or a listing packet, I'm like, you see all these check marks, right? And they get a little nervous and like, oh, I gotta do all that by myself. No, we're going like I say, I'm gonna grab both of your guys' hands and we're going every step together. No one's missing anything. Like I'm making sure, okay, double check. Yep, we're all going the same
I
path.
love that. I love it. That's awesome.
Another thing that I think you're really good at is building relationships in the community because if you talk to anybody in our town, everybody knows Dawson and everybody loves Dawson. So
I was
Dawson,
going to ask that. I was kind of curious about what you do in the community as far as like creating
Okay.
relationships.
Yeah. So I was born and raised in Burley. Like I've been here all 24 years. Um, Me and my brother, they call us the Baker Boys. We played basketball, football, and every like organization, you know. So we were just known a lot around here. And then what kind of like really like people started noticing me a little bit more. I ref high school basketball. And I don't know why, but I guess I just love being yelled at. But no, people are really nice. People are really nice, and
You're used to it. That when I
I
asked if you were in sales, you should have just been like, I'm used to getting yelled at.
yeah, I mean I'm
So
used to it, you know. And it's like, and I ref basketball, and everyone's like, "Why do you still do it?" You know, and I was like, "I like it because the community. Like, I just got done refing a basketball game last night in
Mhm.
Burley. I like it. I like it. I
Love
like seeing
it.
all those people. I like making conversation. Like I just like talking to people.
another thing that's been a huge source for you is let's talk about golfing. Because he's like,
Oh
I have
yeah,
to go golfing. And I was like, no, you're not going golfing every week. What a freaking waste of time. But you
yeah,
convinced
I
me.
know.
You
yeah.
convinced
She
me to tell him
no
about
joke.
golfing.
See, no joke. And I was like, I love golfing, Desi. Like, if they tell me I'm going golfing, I'm going golfing. And she's like, well, let's see some transactions out of it. And I said, okay. Like, yeah. So I went and I got a call one day from a buddy, and his brother was coming from California. And I said,
Hmm.
Desi, I'm packing up shop. It's 11 o'clock. Like, I'm leaving. And she's like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going golfing. Why? I'm like, I'm going to have this guy buy a house today. And she's like, ha ha ha. Okay, we'll see. And I no joke, like I took the opportunity. He's like, just for you coming out here on the golf course, creating this
Hmm.
relationship with me, he's like, I'm going to use you for everything because now he's an investor. He wants to buy stuff here. But like, I just golf with him as much as he comes down because like
Yeah.
I enjoy spending time with him too because he's an actual friend. And
Hmm.
it's like I golf with these people. A lot of my clients, I do like to golf. I'll go with them. I do a lot of like scrambles for like the title companies, like charities. I go
Hmm.
like Desi's like, hey, there's this thing. Go to. I'm like, don't have to tell me twice. It's golf. Like I'm going. Like I'm going regardless. And I just go and I like to see my face out there. I just like
I
to
have a
enjoy it.
whole new appreciation for golf now because you're right.
Yeah,
Like I'm just like, who has time for golfing? Like I can do 6 holes and then I'm like, I gotta go. I got stuff to do.
my attention
Just
span's like gone.
Well, and I make Desi go. I'm
He
like, no,
Oh,
did.
you're
really?
going.
It
Yeah, I'm
was,
like, no, you're
I went
going.
twice this year, the most I've
Yeah,
Yeah.
ever gone in my life.
And I'm like, no, it's
that's more
hole
than me.
18 too. It's no 9 holes. And she's like, what? I'm like, bring your laptop with you. And she's working, and
I'm on the golf
she
cart.
she tells, yeah, she's in the golf cart, and like she acts like she's not good at golf. She's
Yeah.
actually really good. She carried us in that tournament. I'm
Wow.
not gonna lie, she carried us,
There
and
you
yeah,
go.
like she's actually good.
So that's actually really good advice for people because I mean, so I guess what my takeaway would be is doing something you're passionate about, doing something you love, you're going to connect with people, your tribe, right? Like your
Yeah,
client base is going to be attracted to you because like I feel like if I went out golfing, they could tell I was faking it.
Yeah.
Like, but you know what? If we're going to go do something else, like for sure, right?
yeah,
Potentially. So I love that.
I mean, you see it all the time. Like, I know another agent, she's in Park City and she skis every day. And I'm like, what a waste of time. But she's networking and making relationships with
Yeah.
people while she's on the ski slopes. So I
Yeah.
think for our listeners, the takeaway is, yeah, just like Elizabeth said, do something you're passionate about, um,
Yeah.
and actually go sign up. Like one of our agents in our
Yeah.
office, she just signed up to coach volleyball for
Yeah.
the little guys, and she joined a women's volleyball league because she loves volleyball, and it's a way for her to
Right.
get lots of friends and contacts. So
I love that. That's great. And so moving into this next year, because you're starting your second year in real estate, what are some of your goals? Would you be willing to share them?
yeah. So my goal is to get 63 transactions. Um, like, like I have a lot of personal goals. but I just want to keep growing. Like I
Yeah.
do not want to stop. Like I don't want to stop. Like everyone gets comfortable, but I've learned this like over time. If you're comfortable, you're lazy, and you can't get comfortable
Yeah.
in life. If you
Yeah.
maintain, you're not growing in life either.
That's and that's the thing, right? Like you just want to keep driving forward. And obviously somebody who can do so many transactions in their first year is a real driver. Like I think you treat it like a job. And that's another huge takeaway for someone who's starting in the business, right? Like you got to treat it like a job.
Yeah, and it's like my job though. A lot of people hate their job. Like I love my job. Like I used to
I love
dread
that.
waking up for work, like my old job,
Hmm.
and like I was like, mm-mm. But every time, like ever since I've been here, I'm like I am excited to go to work. Like there's not a day that I'm like I don't want to go in at all. I'm like, no, let's go. I'm like, let's go get this done. I'm like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, I love that. I think before we wrap up, like, would you be willing to give us like one maybe mistake or something that if you could go back, you would have changed? I mean, I know you've been in it just a short time, but you've got to have something in there. And then one thing that you could potentially advise somebody that's thinking about getting into the business or wanting to really ramp up their business even, because I think really you don't have to be a new realtor to
Mhm.
have some really great takeaways from this.
For sure.
So the one thing that I wish I would have like trusted more with our systems because it's like, oh, like I can just use my phone, like I wish I would have
Hmm.
trusted it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because it's like, man, like the follow up would have been more smooth. It would have been so like choppy for me. Like I feel like if I would like as I'm doing now, it just go a lot smoother. But it's hard because it's like I'm new. Like I had like certain deals, oh this is like Sphere, like it was just so easy, like it's just right off my phone. They had my phone number. But I'm like, no, like I need to like log these calls. Like I want to listen to these calls. I want to study my craft. I want to study everything that I'm doing so I can perfect it. And that was one thing. If I could go back, I would have like with this system, I would have taken it even more serious. Because it's like I was doing about like I'd say like 70% of the time. But imagine if I would
Hmm.
have done it 100% of the time. Hey, we might have been
Right.
over 50. You never
Yeah.
know.
So
Yeah,
use your
that's
Um,
going to get
CRM.
you to your 63 this year.
yeah,
Yes, use your CRM.
Yeah,
you
use your
have to.
CRM.
You have to use it. And any advice that I could get to someone coming in or an agent now, um, my big one is you're always gonna have doubters. They're always gonna tell you you can't do this, you can't do that. I've been told that my whole life.
Yeah.
Like if I would have listened, I wouldn't be here where I am today. You just got to do it. If in this situation, everyone's like, "What did you do?" I'm like, "I quit my job. I just quit. I just did it. I was unhappy."
Yeah.
You know, but you got to find those people that you trust and you build relationship. As in like Desi and Tyson, I trusted them, and they believed in me. So you got to have those relationships, and they got to be genuine. On top of it, follow everything like the CRMs they give you, anything that they tell you. If an agent is training you at the beginning, take it. Like join that team and just learn everything you can. Even if you're not licensed yet and you want to shadow somebody, just go shadow them because that's what I
Yeah.
did. I did it for like three, almost 4 months. And it's like you got to learn everything you can. And I think that's what really set me apart was like I think like for at first Desi was kind of like, is he gonna come in on his days off? And she had every single one of my days off, and I was there every freaking morning. And if I wasn't, I would try to make it to the morning meeting on Zoom. And
Yeah.
it's like I was like determined. Like I remember I told her, I said, no, like watch, I'm gonna be your number one producer. Watch this, and it happened.
Nice. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so excited about your journey. Like, I've personally taken some things away from this that I feel like I can add to my business, and I know my team is gonna love to hear this interview. And I can't wait to check in with you and follow
Yeah,
up. I mean, I know I'll probably be able to through Desi.
yeah. Well, and that's
But
the
I
thing.
mean,
Like I
I
just
just think it's so freaking exciting to
it,
hear like your journey has been incredible.
yeah, and I just
Impressive,
appreciate you guys
Dawson.
letting me be on this. Like
Of course.
just being on this. This is awesome.
Well, thank you for joining us. And like I said, we're going to be checking in with you. So
Perfect.
have
Thank
a
you.
wonderful day.
too.
Yay.
That was awesome.
Good. Yeah,
Dawson,
that was
I love
fun.
you. You're so inspiring. Holy
Thank you.
shit. Yeah, I think that's such a good story.
Yeah.
Man, I'm
We
so
should have got
impressed
more
by
into
you.
details, Desi. Like, yeah, if you fall flat on your face, I'm just gonna drag you and about kick you to get up.
I would have been down with that. I would have been okay with
it,
that.
like yeah, like going into depth. Like I always tell Desi all the time. I'm like, dude, like you have like no idea like how fast you changed my life. Because it's like
No.
my old job, no one believed in me at all.
Yeah.
And like I came in here and like I was crying to someone I don't even like. I knew her. She knew the old me, like the old me when I first bought my house. But and she,
Yeah.
like, she was crying. I'm crying, telling her this story, and like she's like the person I can listen to. Never had a boss that was like so supportive. Like I, at the end of the day, if I need to call somebody, I know she's gonna answer, and be like, "Yeah, what do you need? Like, let's figure
Yeah.
this out," you know. And
Yeah.
it's like all the
That's so
time,
good.
like in real estate, like I know joke. I remember I told her, I had like a couple. I had like three transactions going on at once, and I looked at the board and she had like 20 or something, and I'm like, how do you do this? Like, how do you keep this all connected? And she's like, the stress actually like stays there. Doesn't get better. Like it doesn't get better. I'm like, what?
No,
she's like,
you
you
just
just
like
won't.
you level
Yeah,
up to
like
it,
you
right?
just maintain, and then when I had like seven, and then we were like nine, I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, you just gotta follow what I tell you to do. Just do it.
Yeah,
And
just do it. I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna say
Thank
thank
you,
you for,
Dawson.
yeah, thank you so
absolutely,
much.